Hi, and welcome to A Better Place. In this, our seventh season, our theme is love and relationships. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
It's a wireless system. Cable WTN. Go digital WTN. With local TV channel 10. Call and make a date. 542-5898. Down by overseas building, Ruby and Star waiting. 48 channel, fasting with plenty more coming. News and sports from all over. Novella, Creole and Patois. Local thing is priority soon. Peppermint and Taki Taki. WTN channel TV 10. We'll always be your friend. Check out the scene, we have the best rate. 542-5898. Hey man! WTN K1.
Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. As I mentioned in the intro, our theme for this seventh season is love and relationships. And today we have a very special guest in the studio, none other than Miss Ruby Bute. Ruby, welcome to A Better Place.
Thank you, Angelique, and I must say hello to the viewers.
Well, Ruby, like I mentioned, our theme on A Better Place for this seventh season is talking about love and relationships. Now, we all know that you're an exceptionally great artist, someone who paints great paintings, and also you are also a poet. But we want to tie in the theme and the topic of love with your art form. But before we do that, I would like you to let us know a little bit about Miss Ruby Bute.
Okay. Well, I must say, I've been around quite a while here in St. Martin. I came to the island in 1976. And from that time, I've been a very dedicated painter, loving the arts. The island alone, the landscape and the view all over St. Martin is a beauty for any artist who comes here. So from that time, I have been painting up to now. And it's just very interesting. It's getting better and better each day.
Okay, so you started painting at what age?
Well, my age was starting to really realize color and to be curious about color. It was 6 years old. So that's quite I would like to say it's quite a long time. Kind of ancient, eh?
Well, Ruby, you are an icon in St. Martin, someone that is looked up to, not only for your art form, but also for, the wise words that you speak. Like Ruby, we are now talking about how we can tie in the art form of love and, inspiration, and how you tie both of them together. We have a painting that is actually right next to you, and it seems to exhibit a man and a woman. Tell us a little bit about that painting.
First of all, let's talk about love, because as an artist, the artist is a person who feels love, not only in one aspect, but in everything, in life. As we look around us, we see beauty. And when you see beauty, you feel love. Now, this particular painting that is done here was one of my surrealistic paintings. That means I work from my imagination. And then I started working on the woman figure here on this side. And there was so much space over here. Your imagination, you got to know how to full your canvas. So when I saw the nice space over here, I fitted a man's figure behind her. And in here you would see little forms of like a butterfly, which is also a significance of life, of beauty. And then the space below, my right-hand corner space, I thought of lovers when I got these two together. And I said the symbol of this, I'll put the passion flower, the passion fruit flower, which was very nice while walking on it to see the little details of that. So this alone gave a spirit and a loving feeling to work on it. But there are so many other aspects of love, Angelique.
Right.
And for me, it is amazing how much I enjoy my life at this stage and see that love is not only the relationship of the male and female, but love extends itself in so many different ways. And I notice that I enjoy love now even more than before the period of passion. And I would say before the period of hormonal struggle that we go through. And we sometimes we call it love.
Right.
But when we look at it, it's the hormones, it's the emotions, and those period could take us through some rough times. There is no one to blame, but it's rough times. And when you go through that tunnel and you come out in the light, then suddenly you discover, my God, look at love. The beauty of painting. I can even dream that I'm painting now. And I'll be excited getting my art materials out. And suddenly I wake up, it was a dream. And love goes so far. Love goes for family. I have a little great-grandson. I'm a great-grandmother now. And he is love. When I look at him from a baby, and how he has grown in a beautiful little boy, and how I started to look at him too when he started to speak. He started to say little things, and he calls me Gigi. If he doesn't do anything, like stumble against my foot when he's playing, so these days, like he's chatting a lot now, he would keep on saying, I'm so sorry, Gigi. Gigi, I'm sorry. Oh my God, when he say these things, I get teary-eyed. And I enjoy so many factors that we call love. Because, as I told you again, love has its struggles. Love has its pain. Love comes with pain too. And in all of it, as human beings, on this topic that you bring about love and relationships, in all of it, it's about changes. Nothing stays the same. We don't have anything that stays forever the same. We have to change. We grow old. We get sick. And we got to find love through all those passages. One thing we could be sure of, time and death. So all of that comes in love.
So would you say that you are inspired? Because you said a while ago, love is in everything. So you would say that love inspires you when you're painting?
Yes. The inspiration is a force that is combined and has come into us through love. If you like to dance, you're a dancer, you will be inspired. If you look at Dancing with the Stars on, I think it's Monday night or Tuesday night, you'll see how much love is on that stage when a couple dances. It only can be created and depicted so beautifully because you have to love what you do. Loving what you do is love. Now the topic goes much higher. God is love. And without God, we still can't express our love. We got to reach for His love above to be able to inculcate in us love.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Welcome back to A Better Place. So Ruby, you're also known for your wonderful poems. Tell us how you got started with poetry.
Okay, when I came to this island, I just enjoy seeing the scenery. It was a big difference than Aruba, where I came from. And admiring nature around me, I started to write. I took it as a simple thing, but I just kept on writing, just like painting. I continue writing. And I took my collection of poems to the house of Nehesi, to Lasana Sekou. And when he saw it, he said, well, this is good. You have to continue writing. And by that came my very first book. My very first book, Golden Voices of Smarten. And after that again, I wrote another book, another collection of poetry, which was Floral Bouquet to the Daughters of Eve. So I have 2 books written.
And tell us how love inspired your poetry.
Love, as I said, for the island, seeing the beauty around me, seeing that wherever spot you may go in St. Martin, you would see the sea. That is something, nothing like that beautiful sunset on the hill there in Cold Bay. I don't know, some people could be chatting or playing radio loud in the bus, but can't see the sunset. And I would be looking at that. So you see where love comes? Yeah. The inspiration that you see around you. I think love is, as I told you too, love is in everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Now you've brought 3 paintings with you. We've discussed the first one that indicates the love of a woman and a man.
Yeah.
But then you also have a beautiful painting of 2 young ladies. Tell us a little bit about that.
And come to the topic of love. Those 2 little girls, I look at them when I got the photograph of them, and I say, well, these 2 cute little children. And they are real, you could say, island kids. You could see the little girl with her slippers and so, and she's sitting next to the sister. The big sister is standing up proud with her little sister next to her on the bench. Love came for me for that piece. And I said, I'm going to put this on canvas. And while painting it, I can remember my sister and I, the way we grew up together. People thought we were twins. We were always together. In the afternoons, the times when we would play. And I see them 2 little girls, and I remember that. And that inspired me. So again, you see, it's all coming in with a love. Your love for sibling, your love for family. You see the little wooden house in the background of the little girls.
Yes.
With the lapboard house. There is where I grew up too, in the simplicity of my surroundings. And I just painted.
All right. So now you said you gave the date when you started with your poetry. And it's so amazing to see how an artist can paint, can draw, can recite poetry, can sing. How does it all tie in? How does your day go when you think about your poetry, you think about your art? What comes first?
There are periods. You have your painting period. You have your painting period when every afternoon at a certain hour you must paint. I will go and I will paint for 2-3 hours straight. Then again, you have a time when, even while painting, listen to this, while painting, you're in the silence with yourself and your mind is working and you are receiving sentences, again, inspiration. Certain things come to your mind and it sounds nice. And you continue with it and you can rhyme. And then you try to have a piece of paper or something close by to quickly dot it down. And you leave it there and you come back to it. And that's the way a poem is born.
So actually your two art forms are incorporated into each other?
They're incorporated. Incorporated. I could look at a painting and from that painting I can write a poem. You see? For instance, the painting we talk about first. You could write a beautiful poem about that. The one with the little girls, again, I could find something to write about it. It's very interesting, all of this.
So how many poems would you say you've written over the years?
Oh boy, over the years, I have what is published in my first book and my second book. I have what is published. I also have a very thick collection at home that is not published yet. That can be the birth of a third book. How many poems have I written? I myself can't remember. Because also I have occasions where I'm asked to come and recite a poem. It can be for a wedding. It could be maybe a sad occasion. And I write something new. I never look for old stuff.
Right.
According to the people and the case or whatever it may be, I make sure I have something new. So I have a lot of stuff still there back up to be published. But I am between the two arts. I'm between the fine arts, I'm between poetry and short stories. And I'm only one person.
I know. And you know, it's amazing because I know, like, for example, you can purchase your, not purchase, you can sell your art. What about poems? I mean, because now you put them in a collage, in a book form, and then you basically sell them. But Ruby, before we start talking about how you sell your poetry or you sell your books and how you sell your art. Yes. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about your final painting that you brought, and then we'll, give you the opportunity to share your final thoughts on love with the viewing audience.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Are you really going to eat all of that?
All of that chicken? All of that lettuce, cheese, and bacon?
Introducing KFC's new Mr. Twister. It's all that and more, featuring our famous crispy strips, bacon, lettuce, tomato, a cheese blend, and our signature Colonel sauce, all wrapped up in a giant tortilla and toasted to perfection.
You gonna eat all that chicken?
So good.
When I say Xerox, I know what you're thinking. Transit fares, as in the 37 billion transit fares we help collect each year. No. Oh, right. You're thinking of the 1.6 million daily customer care interactions Xerox handles, or the 900 million health insurance claims we process. So it's no surprise to you that companies depend on today's Xerox for services that simplify how work gets done, which is pretty much what we've always stood for. With Xerox, you're ready for real business.
Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. So, Ruby, this is our final segment of our program where we're discussing the topic of love and the arts. And we have one final painting of yours to basically discuss. So can you basically explain to us about this painting?
Okay. This one now, Angelique, is when in the afternoon I'm sitting on my porch. And it's not always I have a subject directly to paint. But sitting on the porch, I look at that corner and I just bring out this canvas and I started to sketch and I walk on the corner of my porch. And you wouldn't believe the beauty. If you sit and you look at an area, as simple as it may look, it can be a beautiful painting. So this is looking straight on the porch and looking out at the little gazebo where I keep all my nice shows. And let us talk about love in this picture. Would you love to hear that? I see love in this because I'm living 6 years now in this beautiful place, beautiful environment. If you get up in the morning early, you don't hear the hustle and bustle that we have in many places here now on the island. In the morning, I hear birds. I hear a cow. You see nature. It's so beautiful. And you become inspired. And you can talk to God in this place. You see that? And love finds me here. I'm 6 years there. People would say, Frisbee is so far away. A lot of people are telling me, you live behind God's face. Well, I think behind God's face is love too, you know. Whether it's in the front of his face or the back of his face, it's love. And I have many friends come visit me on that same spot you see there. And we sit on my lovely porch, and people spend a day and they don't want to leave. Same thing I said again, love. A loving place.
Well, that's great to know. So, Ruby, this is our final segment, like I mentioned again. And I want you to share with the viewing audience, you know, what continues to inspire you to paint and to write poetry.
Oh, what continues me is my thanks. Let me say thanks. I want to thank the viewers out there. I want to thank the people of St. Martin, French and Dutch, or they say North and South now, because by the love I get from them inspires me to continue. It is like my responsibility. I want to still give and give so much. Up to now, I'm receiving students coming from the various schools. We sit on the same porch here, and they work on their projects with me. So I'm grateful to be able to have been given such a talent, I must say, and happy to share it. So I want to tell the people of St. Martin, many thanks for the love.
Okay, you mentioned way in the beginning of the program that you came here from Aruba.
Yeah.
How would you talk about that love also, and how did that transition? You know, what kind of impact did that have on your life and love for the two countries?
Exactly. I have two homes. Aruba is where I had my young days. Aruba is when I left Aruba, I was 32 years old. And you must tell the people as we speak here how love made its... We're talking on the topic of love again. It made a transition to come to St. Martin. The day I left Aruba, I had a group of people around me, friends, neighbors in the neighborhood, and there were tears in their eyes. They cried. They said, we're going to miss you. And there was such a feeling. I was happy to come home, as my father used to call here home, but there was a sadness to leave my little group community behind there. And such as all things, again, as we say, one relationship was broken there to come to start another one here. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I feel a wonderful gratefulness and happiness.
Because had you not told us that, we would never have known that you came from Aruba, and then it's almost as if Ruby Bute has always been in St. Martin.
Because Ruby Bute was so busy and active. The moment I came, the first thing I did was look for my easel to set up the easel and get my art materials and paint. And so it keep moving on. This is also motivational for our young viewers to keep active. If you have something that you love to do, put action to it.
Okay, remember one thing before we leave. I did ask you, where do you go to sell your merchandise, or how do you go about selling your artwork and your poetry?
I don't rush nothing. I'm not a person to hustle. I am at home and people are interested in something, they call me and you come and you view. I'm proud to say too, before we end, I'm a wonderful and proud gallery owner. I own my own gallery now. A very nice place, professionally installed, and you can come and see the art and see my prints. And from prints, my inspiration has grown more to come with souvenirs and gift items. So,
what is the location of this venue?
My location is just Frisbee. As you come down on the road to Frisbee, I always make it easy for people looking for me. I said, don't take right to go to the beach. Take left on the dirt road, and you'll find me right there. Or call in advance. You call me in advance. My number is 580-5533. And I'm happy to have you come over and visit.
Well, Ruby, I want to thank you so much for having been a guest on A Better Place.
Yes.
It was a pleasure talking to you about the art forms that you possess, which is your poetry and your art form of painting. And I want to thank you for having shared with us how we incorporate, or how you incorporate love and the arts. Thanks so much for having been a guest.
Thank you.
And to you, the viewing audience, I would like to thank you for having been a part of A Better Place. Stay tuned for our next programs. I am your host, Angelique Rameau.